unison was so good.
Whatsoever things are true,
promise made over 100 years ago. Today we are gathered in this university community to celebrate this commitment to ourselves and to each other. We celebrate with our students and professors, the non-academic staff and support staff, the administration, those who volunteer on the University Board of Governors, Senate, and Alumni Council, and all who promote sound education in our community. We celebrate with all those who leave here today with their degrees. May you continue to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. May you continue to serve in your global home. May you continue to grow in wisdom and grace. And may the University of Alberta always be a home of truth and wisdom, a community filled with promise for the future and goodwill toward all. Please be seated. Welcome to the University of Alberta. My name is Doug Stollery, and I have the privilege of serving as Chancellor of this university and conferring your degrees today. The University of Alberta acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. On behalf of the entire university community, I am delighted to welcome you to this convocation. We're very pleased that so many friends and family members could join us as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. This is a ceremony full of traditions, but what do they mean? Convocation is a Latin term meaning a gathering together of all qualified degree holders in a university community. This tradition dates back almost 700 years. As you participate in today's ceremony, you are walking in the footsteps of many generations of scholars. Today's formal opening procession to the stage, led by our Chief Marshal and the University Mace, originates in the procession of the Guild of Teachers. Such guilds in past centuries were dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, with individuals moving from apprentice to master to teacher. You will have noted the many different academic gowns, hoods, and caps here on stage today. These reflect centuries of university tradition. Your own academic gowns and hoods date back to the Middle Ages. The different colors and designs signify the degree that you have earned. Your caps, the Oxford-style mortarboards, celebrate your independence and freedom as scholars. Our celebration will begin with formal greetings from our Board of Governors and the province of Alberta. Our first address to Convocation will be from University of Alberta President Dr. David Turpin. Our second address to Convocation will be from Dr. Jean Besner, who has accepted our invitation to receive an honorary doctorate of science, our university's highest honor. An honorary degree recognizes inspiring role models and leaders, celebrating extraordinary achievements or remarkable service to society. Following the presentation of the honorary degree, we will begin the recognition of your degrees. As you are presented to the community on behalf of the faculties, our president will lead you through your pledge. It will then be my great honor to admit you to your degrees. Then it will be your turn up here with us. Each of you will cross the stage as your name is called. For everyone here, that will be the most important part of our ceremony. Your degree will be conferred as I congratulate you and we shake hands. So don't forget to shake hands. That moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. Your families and friends are witness to that commitment, as are all the members of our platform party. Joining the celebration at the center of the stage with me today is our president, Dr. David Turpin, and representative from our Board of Governors, Ms. Sherry Somerville. I'm very pleased that deans and professors from our faculties of nursing, rehabilitation medicine, public health, and graduate studies and research are here to congratulate each graduate as you cross the stage. I'd also like to recognize Elder Betty Latendre, who is here today to extend a special note of congratulations to our Indigenous graduates as they receive their degrees. Our distinguished guests on the convocation stage include members of our Board of Governors, Senate, and Alumni Council, members of the judiciary, members of government and civic leaders, members of our senior leadership team at the university, including our vice provosts, leaders from the associations representing our graduate and undergraduate students, our academic staff and non-academic staff, and especially professors from our faculties, your Guild of Teachers. We're all here to celebrate and to welcome you to our alumni family. I hope you enjoy the day. I'd like to start by inviting greetings from our representative from the Board of Governors, Ms. Sherry Somerville.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. Douglas Sollery, President Dr. David Turpin, distinguished guests, graduands, families, and friends. I am so pleased to be here today to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Governors. Convocation is a special time when the entire university community gathers to celebrate your tremendous achievements. Indeed, the university has much to celebrate, but today we especially gather to celebrate you, the graduating class of 2017. You have achieved a level of excellence which will be forever recognized in your university degree, a University of Alberta degree. Representing the Board of Governors, I and the full board are committed to excellence today and tomorrow, providing excellence in teaching and research that has supported you and will support those that follow in our ever-changing world. Alberta and Canada are a great place for all of us, and even greater because of this graduating class of 2017. Your degree is a sign of your achievement at the University of Alberta. It is also a signal to others that you are the kind of citizens that bring knowledge, understanding, and skills to the society we live in, competent, giving, ethical, and engaged in the challenges and opportunities that no doubt face you today and tomorrow. Congratulations to you, to your families, your friends, your supporters. Continue to learn, continue to achieve, stay curious, enjoy today, and we wish you the very best for the future. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Sarah Hoffman, Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, and MLA for Edmonton, Glenora.
Thank you very much, Sherry. I'm honored to be here today on traditional land of Treaty 6 and to bring greetings on behalf of our Premier, Rachel Notley, and our entire government here of Alberta. It's such an inspiration to be in a room full of Alberta's health leaders. Many of you might not see yourself as that today, but I certainly hope you do tomorrow. I have personally had countless health professionals like you make a difference in my life. Well, you were there during both of my parents' after wrist surgery, and while I can't remember it, my mom tells me you were certainly there when I was born. So please accept in advance my thanks for all the work that you're doing to help so many Albertans, to help their lives be better with your skills and your expertise. Now I know after months and years of study, thousands of hours of academic rigor culminating in today's celebration of achievements, your burning question for each of you is, what's your degree in? Education. And what is this politician going to say that's going to make a difference? Don't worry, I think I actually do have some useful information for you. And every year our government does an employment forecast. And I am very proud to say that of the 50 jobs that will be most in demand in the coming years, more than half of those are health related. And we know that demand will only rise as our population continues to grow and age. Your government also needs the brightest minds on your side as we undertake a shift in how we deliver care for Albertans, by taking it right to them, the right place, close to home, sometimes in their home, so we can get them the care that they need, where and when they need it, and where they live, rather than waiting until they show up in acute care, hospital, emergency rooms. And please know that your government is here for you. Whether you are looking to take your skills to work on the front lines or pursuing higher education and research, we are resisting calls to cut education, to cut funding for healthcare, to cut jobs, because we need you. Instead, we are making life better by protecting and improving healthcare and post-secondary education. So as you contemplate how far you've come and whatever your next steps are, please know that we have your backs. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the celebration.
It's now my pleasure to invite the President of the University of Alberta, Dr. David Turpin, to address Convocation.
Eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Academy, staff, family, friends, and especially you, our graduates. Congratulations and well done. If we have done our job well, you're feeling a tremendous amount of accomplishment today because we've pushed you, asked you to work hard, to think in new ways, and test your limits, and you've done it. I hope that you also feel prepared to pursue new challenges and ask even more of yourself in the days and years ahead. Because we need you. We need your new ideas, your skills, and your energy. We need your enormous potential to help us build a better, stronger, more just, and compassionate Canada. Your potential and capacity to help has particular meaning this year as we celebrate the 150th anniversary of Canada's Confederation. I was only 10 years old when Canada celebrated its centennial in 1967. My memories of that year are filled with the fun and the wonder of it. The Centennial Train was making its way across the country. The Centennial Fitness Challenge tested every school child, and there were the space-age buildings of Montreal's Expo 67. Now, 50 years later, I've been thinking about what it means to be a Canadian. One thread runs through it all: diversity. In 1967, although I at the time was a so-called typical kid, I figured out early on that there were many ways to be Canadian. My family had ties to this part of the world that go back 7 generations. Both my grandmothers came from farming families, one from Saskatchewan and one from southern Alberta. On the other hand, both my grandfathers were immigrants to Canada. One was a Welsh opera singer who, in a very unlikely turn of events, fell in love when his company was touring through Calgary. Changed his life and mine, creating connections for me far beyond the borders of Canada that endure today. Those ties deepened and extended even further when I married my wife, Sharmithra, and became part of her family. She was born in Germany and then emigrated with her family from India to Canada in the 1960s. And our family in India is very much a part of our lives. As I've grown older, my many Canadas have included living in Alberta's prairies and foothills, BC's rainforests and seacoasts, and Eastern Ontario's Canadian Shield, Great Lakes, and rivers. I know that my story is not unique. I expect that many of you experience a similar layering of identity and connection. There is no one Canada. We are all many cultures, histories, languages, and geographies in one. This is the very essence of the Canadian adventure, Lester Pearson, Canada's Prime Minister in 1967, said. Out of this diversity must come unity. I thought of this week before last when I joined members of Alberta's Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities in the circle of a pipe ceremony. We were preparing to sign a memorandum of understanding with the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation. As we were sitting in that circle, Elder Jerry Saddleback told us, "We are all in unison, held in equal esteem." We exemplified unity in diversity. Each of us equal in our distance from the center, but with slightly different perspectives. Unity in diversity. Can we achieve reconciliation without it? How can we build a better Canada without continuing to pursue the great Canadian adventure of finding unity in diversity. For me, a better Canada would ensure that all people feel welcome, safe, and accepted, and able to give back to their communities regardless of their background. A better Canada would engage peoples and countries around the world, not for self-interest, but for common interest. A better Canada would be innovative and in the forefront of the global knowledge economy. In short, a better Canada would be one of the most socially, culturally, economically, and environmentally prosperous of nations. So, what does a better Canada look like to you? When you look ahead to Canada's next 50 years, the 50 years that your generation will shape, what can you do to make our country better for all? I look at the auditorium today, and I see many Canadas reflected back to me in your faces. That diversity is a tremendous strength, but it is a strength we cannot take for granted. We can instead be tempted to draw definite borders around who we are and limit what it means to be Canadian. But what would be the result? Look back over our first 150 years, and you can see that Canada has been scarred by such attempts to fix our identity. We need only think of the residential school system or the Chinese head tax to see that limiting our definition of Canadian has hurt our First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples, as well as numerous immigrant and other minority communities, all of whom have, without exception, done so much to build this country. When I think of the divisiveness and isolationism present in so much political discourse across the world today, I fear that we have failed to learn this lesson. We seem to be choosing instead to sit in our customized echo chambers where we literally don't have to see or hear from those we'd rather not acknowledge. As members of the University of Alberta's diverse community, you have a great advantage. While studying at the U of A, you have encountered and listened to people who have ideas and perspectives different than your own. You opened yourselves to each other and created a space where you could hear each other, see from each other's perspectives, and find solutions together. Finding what is common between us, using our differences to be innovative and creative. These are skills that you have developed here, and I ask you to use and expand them through the coming years. When you reflect back in 50 years on how Canada has changed since Canada won 50, I hope that you will be able to look back with the knowledge that you took these skills and your own particular talents and potential to help make Canada a better place for all of us. Take inspiration from the thousands of U of A alumni who have already left a tangible legacy in every sector of society, in the laws they have written, the movements they have led, the scientific discoveries that have changed our lives, the businesses they have built, and the students they have taught. And now it's your turn. It's your turn to step up. It's your turn to build a better, stronger, more prosperous, just, and compassionate Canada. The next 50 years are yours, so take advantage of it. Congratulations, and we look forward with great anticipation to all your future accomplishments. Congratulations, and thank you.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
You will always find it, your own courage or theirs, in the eyes of the other.
Go where there's no path and leave a trail for someone else.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
We face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Travel well, travel without prejudice, live long and prosper.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, it is my privilege to introduce Jean-François Besner for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, our learning community's highest honor. Dr. Besner is an internationally recognized research leader contributing to health system reform. She is also a passionate champion for the effective use of nursing knowledge, education, and skills to create a patient-centered health system based on primary care principles. After earning a diploma from St. Joseph's Hospital School of Nursing in North Bay, Ontario, she began her nursing career in acute care hospitals. She then moved to roles in primary care and public health in First Nations and Inuit communities, working at several remote nursing stations in northern Canada. At times, she was the only nurse in the entire community. Dr. Besner went on to earn a diploma in public health nursing from Dalhousie University, as well as bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees, all from the University of Alberta. She has held academic appointments at Mount Royal, the University of Calgary, and here at the University of Alberta. As Director for Public Health Nursing and Leader for Primary Healthcare in Calgary, she developed new service delivery models, connecting research to the clinical setting. She does not hesitate to push the boundaries of the status quo to support necessary reforms in the best interests of patients and families. Her vision for professionalism within nursing practice, along with her research on optimal roles for nurses in primary care, has influenced health policy here in Alberta and across Canada. A former president of the Alberta Association of Registered Nurses, she also served as chair of the Health Council of Canada and as a board member of the Canadian Nurses Association. She received the National Association's Centennial Award in 2008 as one of 100 exceptional registered nurses whose work has had a positive impact on the lives of Canadians. A member of the Order of Canada, Dr. Besner is a shining example of how nurses play a leading role at the forefront of innovation in health. This afternoon, we celebrate her commitment to excellence and we honor her leadership in patient-centered care in Canada. Eminent Chancellor, with great pride and respect, I present to you Jean-François Besner.
Jean-François Besner, in recognition of transformative leadership in clinical practice, research, education, and healthcare policy, I desire to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, and to express the hope that we shall continue to be enriched by your wise counsel for many years to come.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Eminent Chancellor Stollery, President Turpin, representative on the Board of Governors, distinguished guests, graduands, family members, friends, and colleagues. I'm very grateful to the members of the Senate Honorary Degrees Committee and to those who nominated me for the honor that is being bestowed upon me by my alma mater, where I spent the better part of 10 years pursuing undergraduate and graduate education. It's incredibly humbling to be counted among the inspiring individuals granted this highest honor from the University of Alberta at current and past convocation ceremonies. I wish I could say that receiving this award is the culmination of a lifetime spent pursuing a great dream and reaching for the stars to change the world, to quote the abolitionist Harriet Tubman, as that would likely provide a suitably inspiring message for this occasion. Truth be told, my professional career could never have been as rich and rewarding as it has been if I had had any part in dreaming or planning it. But that's not to say that I did not play any role in its evolution. I credit my parents for having instilled in me a strong work ethic, a firm commitment to public service, and a clear sense that the world didn't owe me anything, that I would have to earn the results that I wanted. But what fueled my passion and gave relevance to my professional work was the certain knowledge that as a registered nurse, I had a responsibility in my own very small way to be an agent of health and social change. That vision was first formulated during my nursing diploma education. It certainly matured to a large extent through my work in public health, but was unquestionably sharpened when I had the opportunity to undertake graduate studies under the tutelage of inspiring nursing leaders in the Faculty of Nursing at the University of Alberta. Persistent effort toward improvement through continuing education was both necessary and rewarding, albeit unfortunately rather costly, in keeping that vision in sharp focus and guiding my career path. I also, throughout my career, had the great fortune of being offered opportunities that I would likely never have pursued had I not been asked to consider them. My 13 years working as a nurse practitioner in remote and isolated northern nursing stations started with a request that I considered doing just a 6-week stint in a one-nurse station on James Bay. That took my career in a very different trajectory than I could ever have anticipated, and was never part of the plan when I accepted a job at the Moose Factory Hospital at the beginning of my career. Nor could I have predicted that the opportunity to develop a practice-based research team with a specific focus on exploring nursing scope of practice with Alberta Health Services would eventually bring national and international recognition to the incredible team with whom I worked on interprofessional practice and service delivery redesign. What was common about those and so many other opportunities presented to me was that each pushed me way outside my comfort zone and often challenged my belief that I could do what was being asked of me. Thankfully, I learned early on
that I didn't have to, nor could I, do it on my own. I was blessed with mentors, managers, colleagues, team members, and others who supported, encouraged, helped, and inspired me, and I'm so thankful to all those who have been, as Bette Midler would say, the wind beneath my wings. They are far too numerous to name here, but they know who they are, and I hope they know how much I appreciate them. If I have any words of wisdom gained from my own experience to pass on, it would be the following three things. First, know who you are and what you stand for and what gives meaning to your work. I don't know how to embrace work with passion without a clear vision that serves as the North Star to guide decision-making. Second, be open to considering opportunities that come your way, even if they scare you to death or may not seem particularly enticing at the time. You never know when taking that one risk will open doors to other unimagined possibilities. And third, whatever you do, always give it your best effort. You may not always get the results you want, but you can still feel gratified if you're passionate about what you're doing and you know that it's the right thing to do. The work of which I'm most proud has also been the source of my greatest disappointment, because the role that registered nurses and other health professionals could and should play in healthcare has not yet been realized, despite clear evidence that most health professionals are still grossly underutilized relative to their potential contribution. I can only hope that some of you will have the courage to change that if you agree that change is needed. And if you do, I wish you bon courage and bonne chance. Congratulations to all the graduates, and thank you.
Thank you for those wonderful words of wisdom. Your presence today and your thoughts have been a real gift, one that all of us will remember. And we'd now ask that you sign our University Honor Roll to commemorate your honorary degree.
I just signed it. It's not my best signature, but whatever. Thank you again, Chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Besner. You are now officially a member of our honorary degree recipient family. And now, graduates, it's your turn. As the name of each graduate is called across the stage, I will formally admit you to your degrees, and we will have an opportunity to congratulate you. On your journey across the stage, you will also walk past the University of Alberta ceremonial mace. Centuries ago, the mace was a symbol of authority over life and death. Today, this mace represents the life-changing power of knowledge and the importance of our university and our alumni in the community. I look forward to greeting you on stage.
Eminent Chancellor and President, the candidates for degrees will please rise and follow on page 5 of the Convocation program. You will have a speaking part, so please follow along. Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the faculties, I present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this, your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourself in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of this university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people, to inspire the human spirit, for all who believe to serve your God, and to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Anita Molzan and Professor Suzanne Kestra, I guess, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Nursing and Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, receiving today both her doctorate in philosophy and graduate certificate in community-based research and evaluation, Saima Shams Hirani. Maryam Nesari. Amy Tusi. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Nursing, Sadie Evelyn Deschênes. Megan Dorothy Gleddy. Receiving today both her Master of Nursing and Graduate Certificate in Teaching and Learning in Nursing Education, Kenchera Curleen Ingram. Receiving today both her Master of Nursing and Graduate Certificate in Teaching and Learning in Nursing Education, Denise Erin Pasieka. Also receiving the Master of Nursing and Graduate Certificate in Teaching and Nursing in Nursing Education, Sahana Srinivas Nayak. Another double recipient of the Graduate Certificate in Nursing in Teaching, and Learning in Nursing Education, Helen Tekalsik. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Anita Molzan, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Nursing for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing with honors. The recipient of the Chancellor's Leadership Medal and the Cheryl Lynn Osborne Memorial Scholarship in Nursing, receiving today all three of her Bachelor of Science, her Certificate in Community Engagement and Service Learning, and Certificate in International Learning, Paisley Michelle Semenuk with first-class honors.
Paisley Siminek is this year's recipient of the Chancellor's Leadership Medal. This prestigious award is given to the convocating undergraduate who has shown commitment to leadership in the community at the University of Alberta and beyond, while maintaining superior academic performance in a final year of study. Throughout her education at the University of Alberta, Paisley has shown an impressive commitment to her academic success by achieving first-class honors in her degree. She has dedicated significant time to both the campus and global community, including co-founding the Global Association of Student and Novice Nurses and holding the position of Global Health Chair for the Canadian Nursing Students Association. Paisley plans to begin graduate studies at the University of British Columbia in September, followed by doctoral studies to further her passion for global health and nursing. Paisley, congratulations. Well done. Well done. Enjoy. All the very best in the years ahead.
Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, the recipient of the McClure Medal in Nursing, Whitney Laura Kathleen Fanyan with distinction.
Whitney Fayan is this year's recipient of the McClure Medal in Nursing. This medal is awarded to a graduating student who has made meaningful contributions to the health of disadvantaged groups, along with academic success in the final 2 years of study. Whitney graduates from the University of Alberta with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree with distinction. Throughout her university career, she has received several awards, including the Louise McKinney Post-Secondary Scholarship, an impressive 3 times. Whitney is currently working as a direct care registered nurse with Southwest Home Care and is excited by the possibility of pursuing her master's degree in the future. Whitney, congratulations. Well done. Best of luck.
Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing with honors, Marnie Laurie Colburn with first-class honors. Sage Roxanne Gilbertson Parlin with first-class honors. Marley Jordan Harries with first-class honors. Katja Hovel with first-class honors. Sharon Sidhu with first-class honors. Brittany Elizabeth Tyerman. Amy Jaishi Zhang. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Arzo Adab. Maitri Kanjibai Argana, that is Arhara, sorry. Anahita Akbari. Joseph Daniel Alcasabas. Emma Susan Allen. Nicole Almeida. Tara Marie Amundsen. Princess Salmon Ancheta. Sayada Andani. Shamim Anishe. Ivan Au with distinction. Shiva Dane Marie Oak with distinction. Laura Jane Aylesworth. Oluduni Azizat Balogun with distinction. Sabrina Fern Taylor Bamping with distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Basarick. Cassie Lynn Beck with distinction. Vanessa Becker. Dakota Michelle Burgam with distinction. Rebecca Christina Black. Anissa Diane Bach with distinction. Janelle Carly Cheryl Bodner with distinction. Danielle Helen Bourque with distinction. Dominique Elma Bourque. Candace Mallory Brecht. Allison Walker Brown. Keely Amber Brown with distinction. Alicia Marie Brown Breitmeyer. Farrell Marie Bryanton. Megan Marie Butler with distinction. Agnes Cairns. Bobby Jean Cardinal. Emily Catherine Carney. Heather Carroll. Jessica Kit Chang. Michelle Shao. Johnny Cheng. Michael Stephen Chichak. Xiuming Sherman Chu. Catherine Sharon Clark George. Gail Ibarlin Contigara. Jordan Ashley Koss. Haley Rianne Kowitz. Brittany Jamie Cox. Anne Dang with distinction. Maggie Marie Davis. Nadine de Guzman. Louis De Hoya. Veronica Lee Delef. Claire Anora Denton. Kenneth Kang Elage. Joyce Ann Dizon. Gina B. Dubanen. Jennifer Lee Draper. Erin Rachel Duick with distinction. Nafiesa Elizabeth El Hassan. Samantha Ellison. Sumail Abdullahi Elmi. Traden Merrick Rhodes Epp. Melissa Annette Fennessy. Diane Joyce Phillimore with distinction. Alyssa Michelle Finch with distinction. Caitlin Catherine French. Mark Anthony Domingo Gerlin. Cole Jamin Gara. Stephanie Elizabeth Nina Graham with distinction. Raymond Ha. Kelsey Alexis Hallis. Sarah Margaret Halderson. Nancy Adina Hammer. Kendra Linda Hancock. Charity Rose Henfrey. Sarah Abdi Hirad. Joanna Ho. Madison Riley Holland. Madison Irene Hologroski with distinction. Tessa Kimberly Hopkins. Lucas Philip Horvath with distinction. Ka Tu Huyn. Justine Jacka. Zainab Yusuf Jama. Rebecca Doris James with distinction. Ji Wan Jang. Sydney Greer Jensen Holobowicz with distinction. Nicole Lee Johnson with distinction. Samantha Willow Jory with distinction. Alexandra Jolly. Johanna Catherine Kozachuk-Dull. Brianna Sofia Jurina. Andrew Eugene Kalinchuk with distinction. Fatumata Kamara. Sarah Jessica Kelly with distinction. Jenna Darlene Kloberdance. Ellis Evelyn Knipp. Danica Jerzak with distinction. Ariel Colette Marie Laforêt. Christopher James Lamb. Rovanimer Argamosa Lapidant. Ki Ho Lao. Jui Ying Li. Carlene K. Van Lee. Alice Lee. Todd Lee. Deborah Liao. Melody Ying Yi Liu. Alison Lorraine Teresa Little. Jocelyn Marie Loisel. Jonathan Chung Lung Lok. Kelsey Nicole Lonergan with distinction. This degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing with distinction is posthumously granted to Rachel Ann Justine Longridge and is accepted on her behalf by her brother, Michael Longridge.
Paige Alisa Machuk with distinction. Kayla Lynn Ma. Parmveer Singh Mehil. Joshua Daniel Clifford Martinick with distinction. Jan Charmaine Mateo. Nathaniel Aaron Todd Matkowski with distinction. Tasha Jean McCready. Jessica Ann McCullough. Jessica Erin McGrath. Amy Lynn McLean. Lauren Margaret McPhee with distinction. Rebecca Lee Miller with distinction. Wanda Lynn Mitchell with distinction. Melissa Nora Teresa Morris. Mackenzie Julia Morrison with distinction. Jenna Dawn Motika. Anissa Khalid Muallen. Sarah Kindra Moulton with distinction. Deka Hassan Mudeh. Dorothy Nampala Wiseman. Denise Wing-Yan Ing. Chisoba Angela Nwachuku. Sarah Min Nguyen. Trang Toon Win. Haley Ann Marie Nicholson with distinction. Berhanu Makonta Nono. Ivan Anthony Victor Olafernes. Jessica Lauren Ort. Taryn Irene Ortman. Hannah Othman. Isabel Teresa Wimet. Presley Angelina Pananen. Angela Nicole Pagonis with distinction. Yunati Manish Pandya. Komalpreet Kaur Panu. Sonia Parmar. Jamie Jean Pollock with distinction. Jamie Ann Pelletier. Kelly Estefania Perez Espitier. Kayla Alexandra Ray Pish with distinction. Nathalie Alexandra Plantier. Lara Luisa Yalangin Punzalin. Natalia Stefania Radio. Foziat Olatan Raji. Sheena Rajput. Juvelin Dulai Ramirez. Brannon Mitchell Rammel with distinction. Stephanie Ann Reed Mazuka. Krina Ray with distinction. Joy Reno. Hannah Jane Ridley. Caitlin Kylie Rickley. Samantha Marie Mariona Roberts. Caroline Anna Rodriguez with distinction. Emma Alexandra Russell. Shannon Dawn Rutherford. Stephanie Lee Serafinchin. Lorella Sherwin. Emily Shin with distinction. Sarah Ashley Shinbein with distinction. Simrat Sidhu. Megan Emily Sider Massey with distinction. Susanna Marie Smetnak with distinction. Lina Son. Catherine Margaret Sokoloff. Nerissa Ferrer Solis. Allison Kelly Spiegel. Danielle Lee Spooner with distinction. Julia Renee St. Louis with distinction. Martha Emily Stad. Alana Leah Steinhauer. Natasha Subanunchai. Joanne Chongmon Swen. Zoe Son. Megan Elizabeth Taylor. Brandon Tay with distinction. Amanda Noktwet Tai. Grace Catherine Talon. Selena Thawer. Erin Lee Trin. Richie Lynn Trockley Hughes. Kimberly Bernice Tworek with distinction. Shelby Ray Unsworth with distinction. Corey Lynn Vandervoort with distinction. Leah Marie Vandervin. Joanna Joy Cautivo Villegas. Juliana Virani with distinction. Sukdeep Kaur Verdi. Wenju Wang. Paige Madison Watson with distinction. Nicola Patricia Varginiak. Jessica Wensman. Jordan Marissa West. Elizabeth Sarah Westwood. Cassidy Janelle Wilson. Shay Rose Winter. Piper Leslie Wittenberg. Lauren Wong. Siwi Wong. Tung Yin Wu. Sarah Wu with distinction. Danny Shu with distinction. Yamur Melody Yasa with distinction. Jawe Yo. Carmen Nicole Young. Joanne Puiying Yu. Lia Yun. Tatiana Victoria Zamet. Kristen Eva Zek. Danica Jijia Zhang. Winnie Zhu. Éminence for the degree of au grade de bilingue, baccalauréat bilingue et sciences infirmières, bilingual Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Francesca Elise Bergen with distinction. Christine Suzanne Brubaker. Cynthia Muriel Phyllis Cowden. Jacqueline Graham with distinction. Abigail Adrienne Handlin. Pascal Hain Heyman. Kristen Evelyn Nicole Klimchak. Courtney Nicole Labrentz with distinction. Erin Danielle Laurie. Casey Liliane Leblanc. Brianna Lee Lesenko. Kayla Leanne Dion McIsaac. Cassandra Leanne Roy. Carmen Stolerio Falchidi.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Robert Haenel and Professor Suzanne Cresta, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Rehabilitation Medicine and Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Vahid Abdullah. Joanne Young Park. Amber Michelle Jean Savage ou Michel Jean Savage. Oh. Salima Suleiman. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Science. Amal Albush. Naima Ali. Morgan Taylor Ashcroft. Annika Bachmann. Chelsea Rose Barlow. Vanessa Joy Beard. Lee Mackenzie Beforth. Teresa Buchans. Marina Nicole Biamonte. Jordan Michael Biggs. Simrit Kaur Birdi. Andrea Bitonte. Elise Blythe Boileau. Michelle Bokshuan. Rebecca Jane Brandt. Megan Elizabeth Brox. Andriana Marie Bullis. Lauren Christina Jenny Butchart. Jessica Elise Kalbeck. Robin Deli Karinan. Vivian Winksy Shan. Wing Chi Chan. Catherine Truck. Rebecca Jane Cooper. Allison Marie Cummings. Samuel Alexander Dalk. Blair Louise Dickey. Colleen Gilchrist Drybrow. Rhea Duddridge. Erin Jane Margaret Duhame. Victoria Dolanova. Jessica Lynn Edwards. Nicole Ashley Elder. Michael David Ellis. Hilary Victoria Marie Fast. Robert Jonathan Fenrich. John Austin Furso. Kristen Michelle Funk. Case Amin Ganji. Georgina George. Kamaldeep Kaur Gill. Catherine Diane Gillette. Bradley Jonathan Green. Cassandra Rose Ruth Grinoff. Taylor Sean Smith Gee. Sarah Anne Marie Hamill. Rebecca Lynn Hampton. Brooke Ashley Hansen. Allison Mary Harding. Caitlin Jean Harney. Cassandra Rose Harrison. Stephen Eric Hazlett. Marianne Joy Heacock. Cassandra Lee-Anne Hébert. Anna Maria Christina Hepp. Richelle Donna Orr. Mandy Hong. Olivia Gina Hughes. Drew Brahan Hutchison. Kathy Huynh. Yassine Jadauji. Nushin Jafari. Colin Alban James. Colin James. Colin James. Kaylin Ashley Jensen. Stephen Reginald Dewar. Ivory Ann Johnson. Stephanie Michelle Jones. Fortine Karayanis. Brent Donald Kastelik. Chelsea Kenmure. Michelle Douglas Kirby. Riley Patrick Laforge. Kayla Marie Ladouceur. Chantal Marie Lagimaudière. Laurie Michel Laplante. Paul Richard Lee Wah. Wing Yin Agnes Lee. Courtney Beth Long. Allison Hillary Lorenz. Connor James Louis Poon. Henry Lee. Janelle Leona MacDonald. Rebecca Jordan MacDonald. Adam Elliott Mann. Andrew John Wilson Martin. Jasmine Lynn Mazer. Tiana Jo Matchett. Alyssa D. McComb. Caitlin Kalia McDowell. Joel Timothy Mackay. Carolyn Suzanne McNeely. Rebecca Dawn McCrae. Katrina Doreen Alyssa Mikhailuk. Samantha Joyce Meisner. Adriana Monteiro. Sheena Ardell Moody. Christy Lynn Muchala. Melissa Annalise Muller. Janine Marie Newman. Lara Nudd. Kayla Oakley. Vanessa Michelle Peacock. Alyssa Kendall Postnikoff. Rachel Elizabeth Kwong. Mia Marquetta Reardon. Catherine Mary Yuzwa Richards. Alan David Richter. Genevieve Marie Roberts. Chelsea Dawn Robinson. Inez Rowland. Lisa Marie Rombo. Mike Saleme.
Alana Marie Scammell. Kayla Margaret Shearschmidt. Brett Denise Donna Schmidt. Adam Christopher Schwabi. Caitlin Anne Marie Sereda. Charlie Shin. Stephen Mark Short. Lindsay Nicole Siemens. Jessica Ashley Skillen. Darby Nicole Shauna Sloan. Kimberly Diane Smith. Shale Felicia Smith. Gavin Stewart Sneeman. Carmen So. Irene Sonnenberg. Katie Suzanne Staden. Kimberly Nicole Steinbring. Alyssa Marie Stewart. Angeli Sierra Dakina Tabamo. Helen Tam. Tan Chi Tang. Robert James Russell Tom. Alexandra Vida Marie Thompson. Caitlin Alma Trainer. Vikim Trong. Cynthia Tu. Jessa Michelle Vandersype. Brittany Nicole Vanderlind. Priyanka Ann Vergi. Jamie Jane Warenka. Jack Whiting. Krista Lee Wilson. Shelby Lynn Wagsberg. Esther Nyayin Wong. Jason Sing Wong. Susanna May Wong. Lindsay Worms. Taranya Marissa Winnick. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Jeff Johnson and Professor Suzanne Cresta, I present the following graduates for degrees in the School of Public Health and Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Nicole Allison Kane. Jacqueline Mary Irene Torti. Eminent Chancellor, Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Science, Henry Kweku Edu. Elizabeth Julia Campbell. Fernanda Naomi Inagaki Nagasa. Fahima Moradi. Elizabeth Yu. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Public Health, Ekawa Anua Mponsa Agyamang. Stephanie Marilyn Booth. Melissa Cora Cardinal. Elaine Chan. Shelby Lee Fenton. Cindy Lee Grand. Diana Grescu. Katie Marie Howitson. Matthew Harris Hundert. Jakben Karjanavija. Alicia Michelle Lappel. Andrew Douglas McMillan. Morgan Colette Magnuson. Ebony Camilla Elizabeth Ann McCackern. Jennifer Ann McGowan. Hannah Faye Mercader. Damon Monroe. Ina Morgan. Olishgun Abiola Mateo. Sareda Kwa. Matthew Harling Rogerson. Anju Singh. Mark Francis Sommerfeld. Erin Louise Thompson. Colleen Allison Weeks. Delaney Rianne Weeb. Haoyu Zhao.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculties, I present to you the remaining scholars whose names appear in the Convocation program, but who are not in attendance.
Well, graduates, congratulations, you've made it. Let's congratulate the class of 2017. Well, grads, now it's your turn. I'd like you to get up, get everyone's attention. Let's give the people who have supported you through all of this, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your spouses, children, and friends, a huge round of applause. Stand up and show them how much you appreciate it. Well, today is truly a very proud moment for them and for the University of Alberta. In total, over the few days of the spring convocation, we're graduating 6,683 students. So now that you're all back with us, it's time to turn our attention to the final part of today's ceremony. Before you are formally inducted into the University of Alberta Alumni Association, I invite you to watch the screens for the presentation of a special video montage. The song that accompanies the video, Je te retrouve, or I Remember You, was commissioned by Campus Saint-Jean in 2008 to honor the University of Alberta's centenary. It captures the hopefulness and potential of days spent at university, and hopefully sparks your own memories of your years here. The song is also a display of many U of A talents. It was composed by Professor Emeritus Dr. Franz Lavassier-Ouimet and arranged by U of A alumnus Dr. Alan Bevan. The recording is performed by Choral Saint-Jean under the direction of Laurier Fagnan. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
Eminent Chancellor, thank you, merci. To the 2017 graduating class, congratulations and welcome. My name is Grant Irwin. I graduated from the University of Alberta in 1979, and it is my honor to congratulate you on becoming a University of Alberta alumnus and to officially welcome you into our alumni family. You are joining a proud and inspired group of graduates, committed to each other's success, and committed to building the University of Alberta into one of the world's great universities for the public good. I call upon you to stay connected with each other, with other alumni, and with your university throughout your lifetime. We will be there for you, for each other, and for our university. I also call upon you to go out from this place and be inspired by the promise and the challenge of our alumni to do great things. Our alumni have done many great things in the past. Now it is your turn. Great things are actions, big and small. They can take place anywhere, anytime. They support other alumni, the university, and our society. And they come from using the knowledge and talents you have gained here for the betterment of yourselves and others. Félicitations et bonne chance. Congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors. And now, please turn your attention to the screen.
No matter what your story, where you came from, what it took to get here, at this place, you were welcomed. You became part of our family. At this place, you inherited a spirit of innovation, of action, of coming together to uplift the whole people. Our school and our spirit have grown, but we still learn, innovate, lead, solve problems, take action. We raise up our communities, and we help others succeed. We are University of Alberta alumni, and for more than a century, we have come together and carved a new trail for those who follow. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Together, from this place into the world. Together, we have and we will do great things.
In closing, I would like to offer a few words of thanks. Dr. Jean Besner, thank you once again for sharing your story and your wisdom with our university family. You're an inspiring example of leadership, service, and accomplishment. In accepting this honorary degree, you bring great honor to the University of Alberta. I also wish to thank our talented vocalist, Miss Elise Noyes, and our outstanding Convocation band under the direction of Dr. Thomas Dust. And I wish to acknowledge the staff of the Office of the Registrar for their organization of today's Convocation. And now to our graduates. Congratulations for all that you have accomplished leading up to the conferral of your degree. Today is an important milestone in a journey of lifelong learning. Wherever your dreams may take you, I invite you to remain close to your alma mater, the University of Alberta. and I'm pleased to invite you and your guests to join us in the main floor and first balcony lobbies for refreshment and fellowship. One final thought. Your degree will open new horizons for you and for our entire community. As you contemplate your future, be mindful of the fact that of all the things you may do, of all the successes you may achieve, nothing is more important than the kindness you show to others. Congratulations.
Riders for the flag, please.